There is so much speculation for Nintendo's next console. So, Switch 2, right? I mean, I don't really like that name that everyone's giving it, so I really hope Nintendo comes up with a really solid name. Usually, a Nintendo system with a similar name doesn't sell that well. So what the heck is Nintendo gonna come up with? Well, as fun as it would be to talk about what the heck this thing is gonna be called, I think it's more important to be realistic and focus on something else, going beyond the hardcore consumerism. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're watching this video and other constant Switch 2 videos that are made by other channels, you're most likely a hardcore Nintendo consumer. I think it's important to understand that majority of the Switch install base is comprised of casual consumers, meaning people, families, kids, etc. that aren't super focused on spending hours a day on what the world of Nintendo is like how I am, and like how probably you are. This isn't about begging for a powerful console. This is about continuing to sell the OG Switch as we transition into a new one. That's the sales pitch that I have for this video. So I'm gonna go full business mode and propose a way for the next Switch or next console to sell well, which, in my opinion, involves releasing a lot of games in 2024 and at the same time appeal to the casual consumers in a crazy way. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's go. So, first things first. Nintendo shouldn't have an easygoing 2024 and then only release a couple of blockbuster games with the Switch 2, like 3D Mario and Prime 4, and that's it. 2024 should still be a Switch-heavy year, with a lot of first-party titles. The goal Nintendo should have is for people to buy something from the Switch family of systems before and through holiday 2024. I know they're going to want people to buy the Switch 2 more than buying one of the previous models, but that's not a good business goal to solely focus on just the Switch 2 solely and then push the OG Switch out. Like, throwing the OG Switch into a trash can is not a good idea, unless the OG Switch was a failure like the Wii U, which it isn't. The OG Switch is still poppin', selling a lot, dude. So the main Switch does have a downward trend of hardware sales, but look at how much and how fast Tears of the Kingdom sold and Mario Wonder's potential. A lot of people are saying Mario Wonder is easily going to sell 20 million, probably might even sell 30 million. So people are hungry for software. They cannot kill the OG Switch yet. It still needs big titles while going into the next generation of hardware. They cannot shove the current generation into the trash like how they did when the Wii U ended and the Switch first came out. This is not the same type of situation. So, what do I mean by this? Make 2024 a year like 2017 or 2022. Give the current Switch base their food. Not only does the next 3D Mario and Prime 4 need to be cross-gen, we need backwards compatibility and the continuation of first-party games on the OG Switch as well as the new one going forward into the Switch 2's life. So here's a breakdown on how Nintendo could do this and not fall off the cliff of success, like transitioning from Wii to Wii U. We need games in 2024. It needs to be a big Switch year. Nintendo should fight against downward sales of hardware and release new hardware at the same time. So the profit margin is going to come down to software sales. People have the hardware in their hands, so don't force them to get a new system yet, hence the word force. You can still have that option of getting a new system, but you don't want to force people to have to switch to the Switch 2 just yet. Obviously, we need 3D Mario and Metroid Prime 4 to be cross-gen, but there's gotta be more than that. Peach Game and Luigi's Mansion 2 Remake are coming next year. Okay, but that's not enough. That's not enough to cruise into a whole new generation of Switch. Before holiday 2024, the first-party lineup has got to be loaded. I'm talking Metroid content, Zelda content, Mario content, very strong DLC, not simple DLC, very strong DLC, a strong Mario spin-off, and another big RPG like Mario, Paper Mario, Mario and Luigi, or the return of Fire Emblem, and a return of a beloved IP, and finally, a price cut for the OG Switch family of systems. But before going to any of that, let me explain the type of level Nintendo needs to be at. So let's go into Metroid. When I spoke of Metroid, I don't just mean Prime 4 towards the end of the year. Like, it's gotta be more than that in 2024. I'm talking releasing Prime 2 and 3. I mean, there's rumors of Prime 2 coming out before the end of the year, and some people are saying Prime 3 is gonna come out when Prime 1 came out this year, and Prime 3 would come out at the same time next year. So that's good, but you know, they don't need to be fully remade like Prime 1. They just need to exist on the Switch like Pikmin 1 and 2. I think it would also be wise to announce another separate eShop special or even DLC for Dread. I mean, Prime 4 is gonna need the hype. It's not Mario, Zelda, or Pokemon, so Nintendo's gotta bring the punch. We got to see Metroid, solid Metroid content. It is super important. Next, let's talk Zelda. So Tears of the Kingdom just came out, so no big 3D open-air Zelda to release with the Switch 2, that's probably going to be the case. But here's the thing, Zelda sells and brings people in. So whether we get Tears of the Kingdom DLC or not, we absolutely need something else next year. It could be a 2D Zelda game, a remake, or a new game, or Hyrule Warriors sequel. People, including myself, want to play as Rauru or Sidon and kick Ganondorf's ass.
Whoa!
I want to do that. I want to play as Sidon and Teba, and maybe not Teba, well actually Teba should be in there, and Tulin at the same time, and freaking kick Ganondorf's ass. And have Link as a side character like how I did in Age of Calamity. Anyway, while a game like that might seem that it's really far away, if we don't get Tears of the Kingdom DLC, it makes sense to release that game faster. And if Nintendo wants a console to sell, a cross-gen or current-gen release of 2D Zelda or a Hyrule Warriors sequel is an excellent helper, since they don't have a 3D Zelda ready to go in their pocket for a new console release, unless it's a remake. Or maybe they do Breath of the Wild 3 1 year after Breath of the Wild 2. Just kidding, that'd be crazy. I mean, I'm down, but that would be crazy. Anyway, now let's get into Mario. We have Mario Wonder coming out in a couple of months, and Luigi's Mansion with the Peach game next year, as well as a speculated 3D Mario release with Switch 2. Do we need more than that? Yes. It's time to bring the cards out. We need a strong Switch 2024. So, we need a strong Mario spin-off. This can range from baseball to Paper Mario, one of those two or both. It's time. Mario Movie and Mario Wonder are bringing in the Mario audience. Again, the audience from the Mario Movie and all this hype with Mario Wonder is probably going to get some Mario fans and some families really hyped up to play more Mario. So now Nintendo, capitalize off of that. Next up, the long-awaited niche IP. So an IP that we haven't seen in a while. That would also really help the Switch. Whether it's Punch-Out, DK, Star Fox, Kid Icarus. You know, we need one of those. It is a good time to bring that sucker out. I have my money on a Kid Icarus Uprising HD type of port, but honestly, one of these IPs mixed in with a Monster 2024 year is a great way to help any of these series become more well-known. I mean, you throw Kid Icarus Uprising HD around the time that the Switch 2 comes out, a lot of people are going to know what Kid Icarus is. Really good call to do that. I do think Paper Mario or Fire Emblem is set to come back, and it needs to. I mean, it's been about to be, 3.5 years since Origami King, so Paper Mario can crawl back in. And Fire Emblem, I mean, Fire Emblem Engage kind of sat on Fire Emblem Engage for like a couple years and then released it at the beginning of 2023. Just because apparently the game was done earlier, but due to the pandemic and all that other stuff, they decided to delay it and then release it at the beginning of 2023, whatever. Anyway, we need stuff to come back that we haven't seen in a while. Speaking of stuff we haven't seen, it makes sense that a new Mario Kart or new Smash Bros. Is probably really freaking far away. So that's why we need big serious DLC content to return. Whether it's continuing Smash Ultimate, more Mario Kart waves, Mario Party maps, or Splatoon surprises, Nintendo is gonna want to bring something big to at least one of these games back for more hype, not only for the OG Switch, but for the next Switch. Because if there's no new Mario Kart or no new Smash Bros, you're probably going to want to strengthen some sort of DLC for those games or something that will then coincide with the Switch 2, which will help the Switch 2 sell even more and still increase software sales at the same time. Now finally, the last big thing we need to get into is a price cut. If Nintendo wants more Switches in people's hands, whether it's a new Switch 2 model or a pre-existing model that is someone's first Switch, the OG Switch needs to be sold at a good deal. This is how profit is maximized and how many forms of consumer awareness is brought in. With all of this, going into a Switch 2 release in the holiday 2024 season, Nintendo will be sitting pretty well and not fall off a cliff. But that begins a new question, doesn't it? Like, after thinking about all of this, even with cross-gen support, how does the new Switch 2 relate to the current set of Switch models? Is the console the same thing, but just better? Does it add a new gimmick? Is it portable in a different way? Is the dock stronger, but there's a catch? Is it more of a console? So many questions, but I do have answers, theories, and predictions. I'll be making 2 more videos coming soon on the Switch 2, as this topic is important and I love to speculate on the possibilities of successful marketing and sales. Zelda theories and speculation coming soon, and that's what this channel is mainly known for, but I like to go a little bit more than that. I just did a stream actually with Niche Quick Pops. It was awesome, it was a lot of fun, super cool. I'm probably going to do more streams in the future. I feel a lot comfortable with it now, actually. I'm glad he pushed me to do it. You know, like, it's just awesome. So I'm probably going to do more of that. I also do shorts. If you guys didn't know that, I do shorts, like short versions of my videos, or a little part of my video that I took out, or just a little short Zelda theory that I could explain in a minute. You know, I have a lot of stuff here on this channel, so if you guys are interested in any of that, business on Nintendo, marketing, and Zelda theory, Zelda lore, Zelda speculation, if you just want to see more of this, subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends. Thank you guys. Take care and peace out. I'm out.